How to go from, or I guess my personal experience of how I went from going very low up to really high in my faith, and kind of like, I guess, my road to faith. And so I guess I'll begin by 7th and 8th grade. I'm a very shy person. I don't like talking to people. I'm very bad at just public speaking in general. So let's hope this goes good. So 7th and 8th grade, I'd say I wasn't very, I guess, into my faith. I hated going to mass, I hated praying, I hated just going to religion class because I always thought it was just boring. And so so like everyone else, I always made like goals. And some of my goals were I wanted to be the top of my class in grades, I always wanted to be the top of my class in sports, and I always wanted to, like when I get out of high school, I wanted to make the most money. And well, I realized that my goals weren't set straight. They weren't the best goals to have. And I noticed that all my goals were about me. I always wanted to excel. I never really incorporated faith in my goals or helping others in my goals. And so one day in seventh grade, we were learning about how bad hell is from Sister Veronica. And I was just scared to death. I did not want to go to hell. But I also didn't want to practice my faith because faith is just a hard thing to do. It's just very hard. And so I remember that was just very difficult for me, trying to not go to hell, but yet not practice my faith. And so I remember high school came, or my freshman year, I remember people always say that, friends change, things change, homework gets harder, and everything's just difficult. And I'd say my freshman year was probably the worst year of my life. I mean, yes, the homework got harder. I felt like friends left me. Sports, you went from being the best to not really mattering as a freshman. But it was just very difficult, and I felt like I was just kind of alone. And so at that point, I started, thinking maybe I should try this whole faith thing. And so I started trying this whole faith thing, and it was just difficult. I mean, I'd ask God for help, and God seemed to never answer me. I was just kind of left alone, and I started to hate God. I started pretty much thinking that I'm better than Him, and that every problem I had was because of Him. There's no point of believing in Him if He's not going to help me when I need it. And my freshman year just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And I remember I started to hate God, my family, and even my friends. And I just started to feel alone. And I remember I was coming home after school, and my dad said, "Hey, you want to try a mission trip?" And I said, "What's a mission trip?" He said, "Well, it's a great opportunity to grow in your faith, to help the homeless, and to try something new." And I said, "All right, sounds like a fun trip, let's do it." So I decided to go, and I remember the night before we left, we got back from our cabin at 12:30 at night, and we'd leave 4 in the morning. And so I didn't get any sleep. I had the worst migraine of my life the next day, and I remember thinking to myself, why am I going? There's no point in going. I could really be home sleeping, not have headache, do whatever I want for an entire week. But before I knew it, I was already in the car and driving. And I remember it was just a terrible ride. Just the headache, it was terrible. And I remember I kept having weird things happen to me, just like, I call them signs, just random events as to where I'd ask God for something and He'd seem to answer it, but it was just on this trip, not in just, I guess, reality. It was just a weird feeling. And I remember we were stuck in a convent, and we had to help serve the homeless, and one of the things they made us do was talk to the homeless. And so I, like everyone else, went over to a homeless man, but like I said, I'm very shy, so I just kind of stood there and looked at the ground and didn't really talk to the guy. And he just started talking about his life and how bad it was. And I just kind of thought to myself, wow, I'm sitting here thinking how bad my life is, and this guy's literally got nothing. Some of their stories is truly amazing. It's just, you really regret, I guess, you gotta be thankful for what you have. And I remember every night we do what we call a chapel reflection, and we'd go into the chapel and sit there for maybe 15 minutes, and you just write down stuff that happened that stood out to you in the day. And I remember I sat there the first night and I talked to a bunch of homeless people that day. And one thing that kept standing out to me was all these homeless men. Why am I sad? Why am I hating God? There's no point in hating God. He's given me this life, this perfect life. He's given me all the things I need. I just need to accept them. I just need to use them in ways that He wants me to. And so the next couple of days, I started doing that. I started, thanking God for the opportunity just to walk or just to help these people, just pretty much everything. And I started to love the people around me. I started to love life more. I started just to accept Christ, and it was just truly an amazing experience, just noticing all this new, a new way of life. And I took off my blindfold. I finally accepted Christ and removed my blindfold. And like I said, the experience is truly amazing. And don't be afraid to remove your blindfold too. Let Christ into your life. I mean, I've learned that even in the worst cases, scenarios, He's always got your back. And FYI, I did this last night because I didn't know I was supposed to do this speech till yesterday. So this is kind of tough. And I remember I was asking for help last night, and a friend helped me. And one of the things this person said was, yes, faith is a long journey. God wants you to have the mission trip experience with Him every day. We've all experienced the good and bad, but God gives you the amazing ones to show you that you have the potential to do great things. Your mission is more than a mission trip. It's a journey. Some days you may have your doubts, but faith keeps you and me going. Nothing can stop that if you're willing to accept Christ into your life. So remove your blindfold with me, and let's make our home, school, society, and world a better place for everyone so that they also may too remove the darkness and see the light. And that's pretty much it.